There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Sunday, September the 15th, just after 7 p.m. Pacific. And I am going to share my screen with you on Impulse. And we are going to see what we can see in the terms of setups here. So hopefully you can see my screen there. What I will do actually no, I'll do that later actually. I'm going to show you, I'm going to post. So we have something called TODS, T-O-D-S, which is time of day trades. And what these are is pretty much every day at a certain time of the day. And I'm going to show it to you on the NAS 100. But we look at the level of at 1 a.m. Pacific. And we look for the NAS to come back to that level sometime between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. every day. Doesn't always work out, but last week we were 5-0. So it hit it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Why is that significant? It's significant because if you're trading during those times and you want to pretty much have a guaranteed trade, then if you look at the 1 a.m. Pacific level, on NAS in particular, I've got other TODs as well, and I'll release some of those to you as well. But basically what it is if somebody said, hey, look, between 6 and 8, this level is going to hit again, then you've got guaranteed pips. So however far away it's gone from that line, and I'll run a little video for you to show you. But in fact, what I might do is I'll stop sharing that screen and I'll run the video for you right now so you can see it, so you understand what I'm talking about. This is one that I actually took. Let me just share that. Actually, let me move that over there so that I can show it to you. And I'll let it run for you over there. Let me share that screen again. So this is just using my phone, and I'll just run the I'll run the video for you so that you can see it. And no, I guess that's not the one. Yeah, that should be the one. Why is that not running? Here we go. Just listen to this for a minute.
You might need to talk us through it, John. I can't hear any sound.
You can't hear that?
Yeah, I can see it, but I just can't hear anything.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right. So this is what we call this is a time of day trade, and this candle here. Can you hear me okay, Emma? Okay. So this candle here is the 1 a.m. Pacific. So whatever time frame you're on, it's the 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time candle. Okay. And what we do, sorry, it's actually this red one. So if it's a red candle, you want to be at the bottom of the candle. Obviously, if it's a green candle, you want to be at the top of the candle. So the time of day trade, this price hit right here at 1 a.m. in the morning. And then what I do is I put a dotted line on it from 1 a.m. I'm not on the charts at 1 a.m., but obviously I scroll back to the 1 a.m. time frame. And I put this dotted line on my chart. And it's going to show you as I move forward here. I'll stop and start it so you can see. It's going to show you as you move forward that this is the 1 a.m. This is using, this is one of another, this is dynamic edge, but I just do it because it's a little bit clearer to see on here, because I have it set with a black background, but it works on any strategy. It doesn't matter because it's just based on the price action. So this red candle here is a 1 a.m. Pacific candle. I'll just forward that a little bit. And you can see at the bottom here, it's 1 a.m. down at the bottom. And it'll go along here. And what it's going to do is between 6 and 8 a.m., it's going to come back to that level. So no matter where it is, you can see that's where it started at 1 a.m. and it's going to go here. As you can see up the top here, this is a 5-minute chart. Put it on the 5-minute chart just so it's a smaller chart. It doesn't matter. You can do it 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, doesn't matter. But I usually put it on the 5-minute because then I don't have to scroll back so far. If I put it on the 1 minute, I've got to scroll back and back and back because I'm not at the charts at 1 a.m. in the morning. So this is the 5-minute on NAS, bottom of that candle, and then it will move forward, and between 6 and 8 a.m., it will retest and come back and touch that. So if you know, let's say you're on the charts up here, and you know that within the next hour or two, the price is definitely going to come down here. That's a lot of pips that you can take, almost guaranteed. And I'm going to post these in a series, and so it'll be Monday through Friday. You'll be able to see each setup. Hopefully the volume will work. Maybe it's just because we're on Zoom here, it's not working properly. But you'll be able to see that very clearly. You can pan backwards and forwards. It's called a TOD, time of day trade, and we have several. This just happens to be the one I'm showing you on NAS, just by way of example. Okay. And then as we go forward, you can see down here at the bottom, it hit at 6:15. So remember, it's got to hit between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Pacific time. The original time is 1 a.m. Pacific time. Okay. And that's what we're looking for. And as you can see, we're on the US 100, the NAS. This is a 5-minute chart. I just put that dotted line in there so I know where it's going to end up. And you can see quite clearly where the time is. When I filmed that, this was the Friday session. I actually filmed it at 7 a.m. in the morning. So you can see, obviously, we hit down here, and then it traveled up. Obviously, after that, there was market open. I was trading, so I wasn't recording it. I went back and recorded it. But I did 5 of those live. I got the dates on all of them, so you can show. And obviously, you can go and back test this on any of your excuse me, any of your charts you want to on TradingView or whatever. You can back test that chart, but it's very, very powerful. It's almost guaranteed pips. Obviously, you don't just want to do it without consulting the charts, because obviously if something's happened, if big news has happened, if the indicators on impulse show you that it's going in another direction, nothing is 100%. Last week we got lucky, it was 100%. I took several hundred pips just by knowing that between 6 and 8, that price is going to come back to that level. Doesn't matter whether it's above it or below it, it's going to get drawn back to that level. Okay, this is very, very powerful. When you start trading that, coupled with your other indicators, I mean, obviously look to make sure that it is setting up and it is heading that way. But just mark it up. I like a nice bright dotted line on there so that I can see exactly where it is. Can't do it the weekend. You have to do it Monday to Friday on NAS. Some of the other time of day trades, some of the other TODs, they only happen once a week. Some of them only happen 3 times a week. The NAS happens to happen every morning. So hopefully you got some value on that one. So right now hopefully we should be back on the impulse screen. Is everyone looking at that now? Okay. So again, we're looking at setups here. you know, before we got on, we got a, you know, there was our setup was right here for a buy. Here's our main trend line here, the blue crossed the red here. It bounced up through the blue here, and we did get a little fake out here. We actually could have taken it, but the blue hadn't crossed the red yet. Kind of almost crossed there, but that's where the real cross was there, right on that one. And that's when it crossed into the blue right here. So very clear. And again, this jumped up on the stochastic right there. So that is going in all day right there. Let me just move those out. Yeah, so you can see here you've got all red arrows all the way along here. We got one blue arrow, but the blue was under the red, so we can't take that. We got another blue arrow that actually went through the blue and the red into the gray. But again, the blue is under the red, so we can't take it. This one is the blue is on top of the red, so we can't take this one. So the real one that moved was actually this one, where the blue moved slightly above red. We got our blue candle. We've got our other indicators down here. We're on trend. So we would be in there, and we'd be in there from there all the way to there. But this was just before the session started. So this was 6:38, as you can see down the bottom. 6:38. So it's a bit early to take it. This looks like we might get another run up starting about here. So we would look again. This looks like we got a pop up here. This is still all in blue, and we got a little bit of an upturn here. So again, we've got red candle, and then we go into blue, and now we're going in there. And again, if you want to take these trades, that's up to you. I'm just showing you where the trades are. I'm not allowed to call out live. I'm allowed to show you where they are. We've got no big round number in the way, 761. So there's nothing in there. We do have some little bit of structure there on the 1 minute that it might go up to. So we'll have a look at that. Have a look at the 5 minute, see where we're at with that. Only trouble with trading on Sunday is, you know, the rest of the weekends here on Friday, 2 o'clock on the NAS. Obviously, crypto's all through. So we don't have much of a time frame to look at going back that long, much longer, 5 minute. We go back to 15 minute, we'll only get a few candles here. So that's the only trouble with trading on Sunday. But so you don't have a lot of historical higher time frame stuff to look at. When you go back on the higher time frames, the 4 hour and even the 1 hour, then again, we can see, you know, that this, you know, we do have some structure all the way along here as well, probably a little bit higher around there. So we have seen some structure up there. But we've also seen some good structure right there, which is actually below us. So this one here would be the one to look at on the 4 hour. Let's drop it down to the, let's drop it down to the 1 hour. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of space here to go up with, I think. We're still in the blue here. Drop it down to the 15. Yeah, so I still think we got a little bit of way to go here. Drop it back down to the 1 minute. So if anyone got in here, this would be the entry point, right, on that candle there. The bands, the Bollinger Bands here are not very expansive right now. So by that, I mean what we like to see is, you know, the Bollinger Bands expanding like that one. They're going out. That's a nice move there. When they're contracting, then it's not that good. This one here, we were getting in on this candle here. So we did get the Bollinger Bands expanding out very slightly, not much, but still an expanding. That gap there is wider than that gap there. And we do have, on last week's call, I talked about divergence down here. And so from here up to here, we have convergence. So we know we're going up. If I take that off, we now have, yeah, we've still got convergent going up here. So this should start creeping up a little bit more from here. The entry was back there though. So if anyone took that, it's still going up slightly. I'd still like to see these bands expanding slightly here. A little bit more here. They're very, very slightly expanding, but again, we just don't have the volume on a Sunday because London is not open yet and New York's not open yet. So we're just trading Sydney and Asia. So that's a good one. Let's have a look at gold for a minute. And I know you all like gold. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We should have been watching gold for sure. Holy moly. Okay, here's where our entry was right there. That was again just before we got on. There was a re-entry. Your re-entry, you could have got in there. It wouldn't have got you much pips, but you could have got in and out there. And then that's your next entry there. So when you got your blue arrow, you're going with trend, and a candle goes through the red and the blue and hits the gray, that's a strong move up. And the blue is above the red, so that's your entry candle there. None of this would have taken you out because you're in that gray area there and you would still be going. So from here, you'd still be in the trade. Actually, there's no reason to get out of that trade. You would get in there and you would still be in. Probably you would have got in maybe around there and you would still be in this trade on gold. There's no reason to get out of the trade. You're well in the blue. You bounced off the blue line here. You're way up here. The only thing that we might look at is if this turns around and comes back down through the red, that might be our exit on a retest, a little pullback, and then we could look to get in again. But that's a lot of pips right there. Actually, if we'd have been watching it, yeah, that was 7:10, so we could have been in that one. That would have been a good trade to be in. Just have a look, see how my trade went. Okay, got that out. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. So let's have a look at crypto and see what we're doing over there. Because this can trade anytime. Bitcoin is in a downtrend. Again, there's your heads up. We're going down. That one is your entry candle there. And when it crossed down into the red right there. So right there, 702 would be your entry for sell. You would have stayed in, stayed in, stayed in. As soon as this blue candle popped out of the gray zone, so literally right here, you would have got out. You would have got out here. You would have got it in here, and you got out down there. Okay. And now we've got to wait and see what that set up. Ethereum, let's have a look at that. Ethereum, again, a downtrend. There was an entry around there. You would have got those pips. You could have got out somewhere around here when this crossed up through the blue. So you would have got those pips. That was a bit earlier. This is a continuation in the white zone. I don't like taking trades when they're in the white zone unless they bounce from the white zone right into the gray. So you could have got back probably on this candle. And this is an engulfing candle, so you would definitely have been out there. So you would have taken those pips on ETH. This is counter trend. You shouldn't be taking those unless you're more experienced. And this is all rangy because these Bollinger Bands are now contracting, not expanding. So all this is range in here. So we wouldn't take any of those. So there would have been 2 trades. But again, it started earlier than our session. That was at 6:30. You could have got another trade in probably here and run that down to about here. And then this candle here was an engulfing candle. You would have been out. You got that crossed out the blue, you would have been out. But your entry here, you got blue arrows, blue arrows, blue arrows. There was our first red arrow. As soon as we crossed that and went into the gray area, we're looking to get in with that red candle, and blue dropped below red. So that's our entry. That was our first one that gave us a heads up coming back down through the red. And obviously here we jumped from the blue into the red, and then that was our signal. So these are giving you the heads up a couple of minutes before you should get in the trade. And then you would have got out over here. So from, let's say 6 o'clock, you had 3 trades on Ethereum. 1, 2, 3 sells. I wouldn't be in any of this. That's not setting up at all. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to look at or wants me to explain a bit further on the stuff that we went through there? It's the stuff that we go through every week because obviously it's fairly basic. And I just want to show you what I see very quickly. I can clear this off. I'll clear all that off. And again, I can put the PSARs on. As you know, I discussed the PSARs last time, which will give you an idea again how to get in and out. So let's go back and look at gold again. And because we've got the blue trend here going up, we had there was our crossover there. So we had our heads up here saying we're going up way back here. But the PSARs say we're still in a downtrend, so we wouldn't want to take it. This did try and break through the blue down here, but it didn't. It broke through the blue more like here, which is where the blue crossed the red right here, right in there. You did get the red candles here and then the blue candles there. But here's where your PSAR flipped right here. And you know PSAR stands for parabolic, stop, and reverse. So it's going down, going down, going down. These are the PSARs here. Going down, it stops and it reverses. That is your entry point there. And it's also where you would put your stop loss. So remember, the PSARs we also can use for our stop loss. You don't have to calculate it. They will be far away or close in, depending on how much volume is going through. So they're very, very good. We can also move our stop loss up as we get to it. So if you see, as we're going up in price, we can move our stop loss up to that PSAR. We can move it up to that PSAR. We can move it up to that PSAR. But you can actually see that we would not, even if we moved up to the higher PSAR here, we wouldn't have hit it. Even though this stop and reverse, I would have been out here anyway before it came back. So I would have taken pips from here and I would have actually got out here. If I didn't get out here, I would have got out here right where that PSAR flipped there and I would have been out. It wouldn't have hit my stop loss anyway. So And don't think you have to hit your stop loss. Stop loss is just if something moves very, very quickly and you can't get out quick enough. You can manually get out of your trades before it hits your stop loss, okay? Because getting out here, instead of waiting for it to hit my stop loss, there's a lot of pips in there. 82, 217 to 142, you know, getting out there instead of there is 84 pips. Sorry, eight and a half pips. So wouldn't have made a lot of difference, but you know, depends how much you put on gold. It can make a big difference. So it's better to get out there than it is to get out on the stop loss. Your continuation again was right here. So your continuation was this candle here. The reason being it went through the red, the blue, and hit the gray. So I like this entry. The PSAR flipped from here to underneath. So when it's underneath, we're in buy territory. When it's above, we're in sell territory. So I would have got in here, got out here. Okay, don't forget, we're only looking for buys. Got in here. And I would actually have got out here when it went into the blue zone. So we would have got those pips there. Okay, and all along again, our stop loss, we would have put these PSARs. We can move it up to the PSARs all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. This locks in our profit. So once we're above that level of entry on this PSAR here, now we're in profit only. We can't lose. And you keep moving your stop loss up, stop loss up, stop loss up, stop loss up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Still wouldn't have hit your stop loss until, actually would have hit it right up there, but we were already out here. Okay, and in that trade there, you've got roughly 23 pips, 23 and a half pips. Just in that little move there. That's on gold today. Everybody clear about that? Does that help everybody? Okay. That's all I've got for you, unless you want me to look at anything specific. If you want to look at any of the FX pairs, I like to go here on the right-hand side and sort them by strength, because what I want to do is I want to have a strength number above 40. Above 40 is very strong. Let's see, New Zealand dollar against Japanese yen. Trend is down, strength is down, 48. That was a move. That was a move there. That was the entry back there, which was before we were on. It was at 5 o'clock. But that's your entry when this big blue candle, this big red candle here, went through the red, the blue, and into the gray. So your entry was here. You can see all the PSARs are above. So it was looking at buys, and this was blue. And then it switched to sells here, and then we switched to a downtrend here. So these PSARs would have taken you all the way down, all the way down, all the way down until this PSAR flipped here. So you would have been out when this went in the red. So you would have got all those pips down there. You'd have still been looking for sells down here. Again, you had a flip here. That one is valid there. You got another flip there of the PSAR. So that actually touched the grey, so that's valid, that entry there. Another flip here. that entry there when it hit the grey. So again, you would have had you would have that trade up there. You'd have had that trade there. You'd have had this trade would only take you down to there when that blue one popped out into the white area. So in that, you'd have had 3 trades on NZDJPY. Okay, the next strongest one, GPP, NZD. This is an uptrend. So let's have a look at an uptrend. There was an uptrend all the way along here. So you got an entry on this PSAR here, you got an entry here, and the blue went up through the blue and the red and into the grey, and a PSAR flip right here. You would have got out when the PSAR flipped here. Yeah, would have got in again here. Yeah, actually, I would have been out there. None of that. That was all too close there. Actually, I wouldn't have got in on that one because we're going sideways. But what I would be looking at is getting in on this one here. With a PSAR flip here. With a crossover here. And above the blue all the way along here. We have divergent. We have convergence. Higher highs here. Over higher highs here. So we know it's still going up. I would have stayed in all that, would have got out when that popped in the white area there, and the PSAR flip there. So we would have got that. We would have got that. PSAR flipped here, but we were in the white area. I could have got in there. And when it got out here where it hit the white, so we got more. Little one there. This one flipped here. This one went through the blue and the red, didn't quite hit the grey, but this one hit the grey, so the entry was here. And you got out here, you would have probably just about broken even, actually. Probably wouldn't have made more than a pip or 2 if you made any money on that. But again, 1, 2, 3 good strong trades and probably a break even. Again, just going by, the strength is now down to 24, so you can see we're turning around here. The trend has gone down. We got the PSARs above. We got the red arrows down. We broke down through the blue and we broke down into the red here. So this trend is now gone. All right. So hopefully that gives you an idea. If you want me to show you anything else at all, I can do. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm going to take the recording off and post it as soon as I get round to it. Probably, hopefully.